chloride. These ions begin to move from the brine into the meat.
What the fuck? It looks like Minecraft.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. Capital One, what's in your wallet? If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
The local general store is Oahu's first whole animal butcher shop, sourcing exclusively local meats. We have homes for every single cut, every single piece of that animal. We stock a lot of our cuts in the display case. Cuts that don't make it in there, we turn into deli meats, pates, spam, comfort food that people here in Hawaii can relate to. The whole local movement has grown a lot in the past 10, 15 years, but what I think can be improved is the access to local meat, and that's exactly why we started this shop. The accessibility of local proteins for local people. Aloha, I'm Jason, co-owner and head butcher at the local general store. It's 5:30 in the morning, we got a lot to do. Come on in. Here we have the butcher side, our meat locker right here. We have a half pig and a bunch of meat coming in today. This is Carly in the back. She's a co-owner, and my wife, she runs the bakery side. I like to do all the stuff that I absolutely want to get done during the day before everybody comes in. So today we are going to make some spam. So this is a chainmail. It helps protect us in case we slip when we're cutting meat. It saves myself a few times. Got a lot of projects today before the shop gets open, so let's get started.
Hello, Hobbits. Welcome to Tales.
Hey, welcome in, welcome
This is
in.
a brand new game just came out only yesterday, and it's by a developer called Weta Workshop. We're in the Shire, the Third Age, and I don't know what the Third Age really is. I guess it's the one after the second, but one before the fourth. And we're nearby water, 50 miles away. Now make sure you guys at home right now hit the like button, because I want to see if we can get to 1,000 likes, and drop a comment to let me know what you think of this game. Oh, and who's this in a cart? Oh, I think we know exactly who this is. Probably got a cart full of fireworks in there as well. Yeah, there he is, that grey beard, that grey
Hey, welcome in. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
It's Saruman. Hello. Good afternoon. Right, and we're into character
Thanks for
creation.
tuning in.
So yeah, you might have heard of the name Weta
FTB
Workshop,
Skies?
because yeah, those are the guys.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm getting pretty excited. We are at a point in this pack where we can now explore pretty freely. After last episode where we got all of our power set up and we now have player charging, I feel at this point, we're gonna want to automate the production of... I am Chosen Architect, and this
Welcome
is
in. Thanks for
FTB
tuning in.
Skies 2.
Start this game up right now, guys.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm getting pretty
Okay.
excited. We are at a point in this pack where we can now explore pretty freely. After last episode where we got all of our power set up and we now have player charging, I feel so much more free. And it's actually been quite a while since we've gone exploring. Last time I tried, I got a little bit scared. I was afraid I was going to potentially die. And it wasn't the dying part that scared me. It was the needing to go all the way back to that location that worried me. That right there just takes so much time. And I would have had to regrow a new gas, which could have taken up to 30 minutes or so. It's a lot of time. And I think now we might die a little less. Well, after we get a little bit more armored up. And that's because today we are going to be jumping into the Ars Nouveau mod and doing a whole lot more exploring. And I hope you guys are ready for that. Now, before we get
Hey,
all of that
welcome in,
started, I do want to
Christian.
show
How you
you
doing?
that I have figured out the layout for up top here. So there's going to be a nice path and a bunch of space to
Just
sort of work on
updating,
things up here. And then in the center,
game here real
I'm going
quick.
to use some more of the fencing. So we'll add some fencing around the outside, but inside here, I am going to continue to take this but it's going to end up being walled up at the top. Considering this is about as high as this setup can go, so
Oh, thank
I want
you. I
to
appreciate
put
you,
more of
Christian.
the Geors
Do you
inside
play
of
Marvel
all
Rivals
4
at all?
of the corners. So I need to figure out, like, what is the best Geors to have running? Like, I know there's probably uranium and other things, so if you've played through this pack and you're maybe a bit further than I am, maybe you can give me some tips on what you think would be a good Geor to have, like, running in bulk, because I mean these would be good places for bulk Geors. I mean, yeah, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'll definitely shout
Thanks
you
for
out if
subbing,
I
man.
end up using one of your setups. So yeah, be sure to let me know. Okay, so now I need to get a bit more armored up, and there's a few mods that can help us get a lot stronger a lot quicker. One of them is Mystical Agriculture. I think we can go for a full Supremium set. I have been far. Farming up all of the prosperity shards, so I'm thinking at this point we could probably get seeing this source gem over this with just a
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in
essence.
Want to glow up? For your phone? With Verizon, everyone gets a free phone on any plan. And now I have Google Gemini.
I
Hey,
think
welcome
this
in,
case,
guys.
Lapis is
Thanks
gonna
for
be one of the
tuning in.
best ways we can do this, and it's super simple. We place down the imbuement chamber, and then we just use drawers to push the items in. And then thankfully, Functional Storage Drawers does have a really easy way of doing this with just a pusher and a puller upgrade. Very, very simple. And I mean, the pusher upgrade just needs to push the items down. So we need to say what direction to push to, and you right click, so push to south. So anything that goes in here, it goes in the utility slot, will then get pushed in. So if I put Lapis, for example, into here, it should get pushed into the imbuement chamber. If I did that correctly, this is the pusher upgrade. Push. No, not south. You need it to go down. Here we go. And you can see it then gets pushed in. Now in the bottom, we don't want to put the puller upgrade in just yet because it will just actually pull the Lapis out. So we do need to filter this. And this is where I recommend just simply after you getting the filters in, locking them. And this is now going to be a filtered inventory. Just kind of a cheap way early game of making a filter. And then we need to pull from the upside. On this one. So whenever that is finished, this is going to simply pull it in. So all we got to do is stock it up top. And then as we continue to play on, we're going to end up with a bunch of these building up down here. And yeah, it takes a little bit of time for this to build up without any sort of source nearby.
Oh,
You can
that
speed this
AC
up
is
by
nice,
generating
guys.
some source. That's
hot
something
today.
we'll probably get into later. Because I really
Welcome
just
in.
want to go
Thanks for tuning in,
exploring. We
guys.
might find even more things
Just
as we
waiting for
continue
this
on
game to
exploring
update.
today. Now with that up and running, we can dabble a little bit more into the spell book. And first thing I want to do is actually dye it blue, light blue specifically, because you can dye just about all of the Ars Nouveau gear. This is really cool, including, by the way, all of the weapons and stuff. So you can get that done too. Now, this spell book, I primarily want to use to generate some interesting spells, like a spell that can potentially heal us, a spell that can remove effects. That's a very, very powerful one. Like, you want to be able to clear off negative status effects. Like, if we get Withering, we probably want to be able to get rid of that some way. And with this spellbook, it's a great tool to be able to do that. Something you might also love, if you're a supporter of the mod, you do get a few perks. For example, I can summon Lily, and I can also summon Nook. And look at these guys, they're adorable. I mean, you can make them sit and like a Lily lays down.
Hey, welcome in.
It's
Thanks
so
for tuning
cute.
in.
And I mean, I do recommend, if you have the ability to do so, support these mod devs, because without them, we wouldn't have mods in the first place. Now, the spellbook has received quite a bit of love. We have some new features. For example, spell styles. Like, we can change the way some of these look. You can see there's
Hey,
like
thanks
a
for tuning in,
trail.
guys.
We can change the
Just almost
particles and make
done
them look
downloading
different.
this
There's
game.
all kinds of cool stuff we can do now.
I'm
really gotta
gold.
play with this. Like the body,
Going
there's
into
a
platinum.
spline, a cube. There's a lot of cool things to play with here. But as always, one of the first spells you usually make is a break spell. You can either do touch, which is going to interact with the thing you touch. itself, which is going to affect you, which we're going to use for that spell that removes things. And then
Don't forget to
projectile,
double tap
which is
that
kind of
screen
like
for me,
shooting an
guys.
arrow, and
It
wherever
helps
the
me out.
arrow lands or touches,
Thanks for tuning
begins
in, by
to
the
be
way.
affected by the effect. Which, for example, we can just do break. You can name it, and this is usually the first spell I always make. And yeah, it
I'm almost
exactly
done now
does what it
updating
does, and it
Marvel
insta
Rivals.
breaks too, which is kind of nice for some things. There are just some things that for some reason take significantly
almost done.
longer to break. That
How you guys
really
doing today?
shouldn't. That you should just be able to break by just simply right-clicking. Now, I know I'm gonna get wrapped up in this for far too long, but if I open this up by hitting C, by the way, I think is the default. Let's play around with this style. Okay, so I have no idea. This is under projectile, which we see the projectile change. And if we change it to a cube, body style cube and save. Oh, it like the projectile then becomes a cube that gets launched out of it. So now there's this on spawn, which has the ability for us to do like a burst. And then it says particle glow. And you have all of these different like particles that you can play with. So for example, we can set it to like the firework particle and play around with the colors, like set it to rainbow. And then it like, okay, right wherever we click, it spawns in particles. This is neat. And then we have the trail. So we have a bunch of different options like line, spiral, hex, wave, zigzag. Ooh, I like the helix. I said hex, but it's helix. And then on